everybody. Welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place for tips, tools, and everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Today is Tuesday. The digital diva is in the house. Terry Johnson online from New York City. She is here with some more information for our digital marketing and our social media strategies. So, without further ado, we want to say welcome to those who are watching live and those who are watching the replay. Welcome, TJ. Let's take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful week of marketing strategy talk. We talk about all things marketing, your business online, and that includes social media, SEO, email marketing, and some other things. But we're starting to talk about branding because I know, this is the beginning of the year, and we were talking about trends and I listed some trends, but then I threw one in last week about branding, which is not a trend, but it is, I feel like it's the important step going forward because I know that there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of misinformation, there's lots of changes, and it's all about what do we do now? And I always bring you my thoughts about where we need to focus. I get a lot of this from listening to people like Gary V, Mark Schaefer, Roberto Blake. A lot of people I listen to. This old marketing, I've started listening. Well, I've always followed those two guys, but they have a podcast, This Old Marketing, which if you're not in the marketing, you don't want to listen to. Because it's just them talking for an hour. But to me, I'm like, I love it because I pick up a piece here, pick up a piece there, and then we talk about what do we need to do. And then also remember the CEO of Instagram, very helpful. A lot of people putting information out in different places. And what I'm trying to say is you don't have to follow those people if you don't want to. You can just come here. Just
Yep.
come here. I'm going to talk about it here. And here's another thing I always think about but forget to mention. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have a thought, something you wanted more information on, let us know. We can do that also. It's not about lecturing. It's about this is what I think, and then we talk about it.
Yes, it's all I get a lot out of it, and I'm just sitting here co-hosting. But I get like, oh, that's a nice nugget. I will implement that. Little easy to do things that can enhance what I'm doing with my digital marketing. And marketing is digital now. It's not like it used to be where you can put an ad in. I guess you could keep putting an ad in the yellow pages, but getting
Depends on your
attention,
market. Yeah, you can do that. People still
I
do
don't know how
radio ads.
effective it is, but
Yeah, it depends on. That's why I like to talk about. Thank you for bringing it up because that's why I like to talk about generations. Each generation, baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Z, because they all focus different areas, different things. So yes, radio advertising is still a thing. Billboard advertising is still a thing. In the newspaper, it depends on if if the generation that your target audience, your market, your customers, if that's where they're getting their information from the newspapers, because the newspapers are still active. They still print, but they mostly online. So again, that's a part of it. And Fran, you said about you know listening and whatever, but you bring real world advice into this also in your industry and the things that you're seeing. So again, like I said, this is a community effort that we're doing.
yep.
I'll bring you a topic, but then let's hear you. Let's hear you. The comments, Dr. Tachi, ask Mark Ward, Fred is here. A lot of people.
Hmm.
But see, that's what we need. We need to see the real world application of it, which I think that's the part that is most relevant. Because I've seen a lot of people, oh, I got to learn marketing by going and taking a course, or I got to go to Harvard, or I have to go enroll in the fort. You can if you want, but that kind of path of learning marketing is more for a teacher's aspect. You want to teach it, sure. But real world application means real world application in the now. Like Gary loves to say in the now. What he means is that everybody's on social media. I talked about this marketing, marketplace of attention. Where is everybody hanging out? Where's the buzz? Where are people? Online. You
Online.
go there. You go there. If we were still doing things in biblical time where the market people went to the marketplace, I would tell you to go to marketplace. I wouldn't tell you to go to social media. If everybody was there in the town square or the farmers market or whatever, I would tell you to go there. It's never about it must be social media because I just explained. People are still doing radio ads. People are still doing newspaper ads. People are still doing print ads, magazines. Those things are all in place. So that's what I mean about this, that we need to look and focus on if we want to fast track what we want, which is the goal is to grow our business, right? In the best possible way. Growth comes by new customers.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and making people aware of what we do.
Yes. Awareness, attention. The marketplace of attention, awareness. Once you capture that awareness, that attention, what do you do with it? So this is the part that we're talking about, that you've got to do things to hold on to that interest. See, because I always look at, and I was just thinking about this week about curiosity killing the cat. Ask me how I came up with that. I have a cat and we were playing around. And I was just like, this cat is like 10, we can do things for like 30 seconds and BB is like gone. Like she's like, I'm not. So I was thinking like and then I was moved, like she likes crinkly stuff that makes noise. So I had a bag or something on the floor and she went and started crinkling it and making noise. And I was like, well, curiosity, that's where they get it from. Curiosity killed the cat. Because you're curious and you go over there and investigate, and it could be something that, hey, not so great. So I was
Hmm.
thinking about that in the sense of you need curiosity, because otherwise, people online, your audience, your target market, whoever, they're not going to pay attention to anything that you do online unless there's an element of curiosity, attention, right?
Right. I was listening to somebody and they said this is something they did a long time ago, and it was a print ad because it was back in 1980 something.
Hmm.
So they wrote a ad to sell a car. They were selling they had fixed up a car and they wanted to sell it. And they put on there $793.37 for the
Hmm.
car. And so the person who came to look at the car said, what's with the
30,
37 cent?
right.
He said, you're here, aren't you?
It works.
It
Ta-da.
worked because the person was curious about the 37 cent, and he called.
Usually when you put a price of a car is 2,700. It's like whatever, two numbers, three numbers, 00. There's never a cent.
No, and so, but it got people's attention for them to
Very
call.
smart person. Cause thank you for that story. Cause that's what you want. When you're selling something, what do you want? Attention.
Attention.
And
And
it could be negative or positive. In this sense, it was both, because the negativity of it was, well, you don't really do that. So that got the curiosity of the person, like, why would they do 37 cents? Let me go check this thing out.
it stood out because nobody else was doing 37 cent. I was like,
Marketplace of
oh,
attention. That's
okay,
all I got to
37
say.
cent. We might need to anyway.
37 cent dancing on TikTok, which is not a thing anymore, but it's still a thing, but that's not like the trend thing.
Dr. Tashi says, see, curious cats get their heads stuck in mayonnaise jars.
Listen, curiosity got one of my previous cats to fall off a ledge and break their fibula tibula front paw thing or whatever. Had to take him to the vet, put a cast on it. And my daughter was a little baby, so she was curious, so she pulled the cast off. After like a couple of days, they had the cat had a full up to the shoulder cast and the vet, and we'd spend all this money. I was like, oh. So my daughter I was like, well, what happened to the cast on the cat? She took it off. She took it off, and I was like, well, there you go, curiosity. But you would think a cat can land on its feet.
Yes.
No, not no, no.
Not, I guess not from, he didn't have enough time to make that flip. And
I don't know what happened. I was like,
he
I've
missed,
never. Well, it was rainy, and he went out on the ledge, and we're not too high, but not too low, so the cat didn't die. But I was just like, aren't you
he,
guys supposed to land on your feet or something?
right. He didn't stick the landing.
But the second part of that was like my daughter was curious, so she put that off, and I'm like, well, I can't really get mad at her because she's a little toddler. So
And so the
what
cat
am
is
I
like,
supposed to do? I've done things as a child where I was just like, oh, what did this do? And cause panic and havoc in the house. Who did that?
yeah. But the
Nobody, huh?
curiosity gets
Yes,
attention,
yes.
doing things that are curious. What is that?
And
Do
it's
you,
not, yeah, and I wasn't doing it to be malicious. It was just like my brain was like, ooh, because I
what's
was,
that?
curious. I'm curious about all kind of things. So I was just like, wonder
Do
what
you
happens if you cut this.
do you remember Forrest Gump
Yes.
and the ads for Forrest Gump on the billboards?
No, I don't, oh, he was sitting on a bench or something, was
Yeah,
it?
and there was nothing else, just him sitting on a bench.
And it was the feather. They had a feather or chocolate, or I don't remember the ads.
Right. And then well, here in town, he was sitting, then it just said Forrest, and everybody, well, what's Forrest? You know what I mean? It wasn't anybody. It was
Yeah,
just these random pictures,
yeah.
and you were
See,
curious, like, what are you talking about?
that's the best kind of advertisement. Is just okay. What is you just don't explain it. Because if you
Mm-mm.
explain the movie, I don't need to see it because you just explained it. And this is a good thing with trailers also. And Dr. Tachi will probably, I won't say agree with, but she probably, she understands. You don't put everything in the trailer. It's coming attractions. You make it, you make it so they salivate and they're like, what is that about?
Mm-hmm.
Go see the movie. That's why you see authors that are talking about their book, and the interviewer will always ask, well, what about this? And the good ones will say, well, you just have to buy the book and find out, won't you? Ha ha ha. So,
Mm-hmm.
but there'll be other people that will, let me tell you. I'm like, well, if you tell me, I'm not gonna buy the book because you're telling me
Right.
on the TV, on the interview. So curiosity, it leads to places, and Dr. Tati said it leads to casket. But oh, okay, I'm not gonna go down there. Maybe there was catnip in there in the mayonnaise jar. I don't know, but it
Look,
was just a thing that I thought this week because I was like, well, my cat. It was like, but you hear these things, and I'm like, well, oh, that's where they got it from.
Dr. Tachi, Mark said, I love a good movie trailer. My friends used to joke with me because I had to be in the movie theater seated before the trailers.
I agree with that. I like a good movie trailer. That's how I can tell if it's a movie that I like. That I know I might, it's gonna breadcrumbs, people, little breadcrumbs. You don't give the full meal. The trailer, you're sitting there waiting for the movie. And then it got to be to the point where there was like a ton of trailers before the movie. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you, Mark. I like to watch the trailer. So, but now they're online on YouTube. So wonderful thing.
And they're not lined up already for you. You got to go pick them out ones and two. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe somebody should do a YouTube movie trailer channel and just have all
I
of
think
the.
they have though. They have TV trailer channels, I think. I think
Let's
I've seen
see.
some.
Yeah, because I'd like to have that
Is it called movie trailer?
channel.
Somebody look that up real quick while we're doing. I think it's movie trailers, or I know the TV promo. I think is one that has like when you watch the episodic dramas on TV or the show, and then at the end of the episode they show you, well, this is coming up. and it's the pre-coming attractions for the next episode. And
Mm.
I would miss those somehow. And I was like, well, okay, they're on YouTube. And you can go to YouTube and watch all those, like coming up on episode da 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 da. And the little trailer is there. Yeah, so everything's on YouTube. Ask Mark because it says as Mark Moore, well, we know it's Mark. Mark says on YouTube there are tons of fake fan favorite trailers, and some of them are good, probably better than the actual film turns out to be. And see, you're saying the fan makes the trailer? Is that what I'm getting from that? Because I agree with you, but that is a part of the era we're in, where anybody can make the content that they want. See, it used to be before social media, you had to take whatever the production team gave you or whatever the network gave you. Now we're in
Mhm.
an era where tools are easy. You can take your phone and make the content that you want. And guess what? There is a place to put it called YouTube.
Yeah.
That's what's great
So
about
so Rotten Tomatoes has a trailer channel.
it. Yeah. And then one called
Um,
movie trailers,
Look.
HD movie
Somebody
trailers.
should just have movie trailers. You know what I mean?
I think they
And
have it. I think it's somewhere. I don't remember the name of it.
well, but there's a bunch of them out here now.
And see, here's the kicker. Once you watch one,
You're gonna be
come back.
rolling and scrolling.
There's more. And then the good thing about YouTube, I always say this, they will show other channels, not just
Yeah.
that same channel. So I think this week I watched a couple of Netflix trailers for some Netflix shows or movies or whatever. And then I came back and there were more. And I was like, well, let me look at that. Because otherwise, I'm not paying attention to the Netflix trailers. I don't know how I saw this one, and I saw the one, and it's like potato chips and breadcrumbs. Can you just eat one potato chip?
Well,
No,
no.
no,
And
you
and
can't.
that's what's happening over there. Anyway.
Yeah, and so Mark added on. He says, "Yeah, fans make trailers or sequels that they envision, etc. Some that will never be made." Okay, got you. So that is also getting back to like the authors and books. There are some people that and some websites. I'm trying to remember the forums and stuff. There's some names, like they have names where the fans write fan fiction, and if they're waiting for the next installment of a series, or they like a story so much they continue on and they write their own story. Sometimes it gets a lot of attention to where and this is where community comes in. The community likes it so much that that fan fiction becomes a book. Case in point, this is what is the lady that wrote she wrote the books that all the middle-aged moms was reading secretly, and they made fun on Saturday Night Live. This is years back. Well, not years back, but it's been 50 Shades of Grey. That's it. I can't remember the lady's name, but I know that she wrote the series became she wrote all of these books because she wrote fan fiction about another big franchise,
Mm-hmm.
but it was teens. And she wrote it with adults and then took it in adult content because the other one was teens. Uh it was a big series.
Hmm.
Was it a book? Yes, it was a book. Twilight, is that it? I'm
Oh,
trying to
Twilight, where the werewolf and the
Twilight was teens in high school,
right,
but
it
they
was.
fell in love.
Yes.
They okay, I don't know who wrote the books, but they turned into successful movies. The author made a ton of money.
Right.
And then I think she was going to write another book or something, or she didn't write the book. So the fans got in their little wherever I'm trying to remember the place where people go and write fan fiction. But this one person, the lady's name, I cannot think of her name. She took it and made them adult characters, and they did adult things. And then it became so popular on the site, the fan fiction site, that she turned it into a book. and then the book became a movie, and it made all this money. And all she did was, oh, I wonder, I wonder, whatever curiosity killing the cat with her.
uh,
So
uh, Mark said her name was Stephanie Meyer.
yes, thank you, Mark. She Stephanie Meyer wrote the Twilight books. I think there's like 6 or 7. I don't remember. This is like 10, 15, 20 years. I don't know. But I just remember the fact that the woman that wrote the 50 Shades of Grey book was a fan of the Twilight books. How many books? Stephanie Meyer. And then because the series ended, like it ended, like there's no more Twilight. So
Yeah.
this is what fans will do. They will continue on and say, hey, if they're really creative and really talented, like this lady, you will take the genre. And I don't think she like used what Stephanie did. I think it was a springboard, really.
Hmm.
I'm not sure the
Yeah.
legalities of that. I don't know if Stephanie Myers came after her because you said, hey, you took my, but it was not the same characters from Twilight. She just imagined it in her head as what if they were both adults, and then the guy was a billionaire and the girl was a this, and this all this crazy stuff happened. But she took it in another way. See? But I love that kind of stuff because the idea of what Mark is saying about you see content, you see an idea, and we're in such a creative space to where we have the tools. All you need is the idea, and AI can help you with that too.
Marcus. Mark said, in a world filled with chaos and strife, a group of women battle the challenges of entrepreneurship to build a new, more productive world. Bizchicks 3D, rated PG-13.
Okay, Mark, we might have to pay you some kind of fee for that because I can run the Chat GPT or whatever AI, and I could make a channel off of that. I could run with
Mhm.
that. Honestly,
We,
we
we
joke
might have
about
to,
it
but
because
we
I
might
think
need to do that.
right. I think Mark had said some things, and I know Fred had said some things, and I'm like, you guys might not want to put this out in the air because we can go to Chat GPT now and
And
flesh this
create.
thing out.
Yes.
I mean, hey, I got some ideas spinning in my brain. Thank you, Mark. I might have to give you a little finder's fee or something.
Hmm. Oh, Mark says I can do voiceover.
Hey, there you go. So see how this time period we're in is a creative space, even though there are things going on in the real world. But again, that things that happen in the real world politically or socially drives us to this to where, wait a minute, I want to escape that. I got an idea. Let me run with it. I don't have to sit down at a typewriter. I don't even have to sit down and write with pen and paper. I have a phone, I have a device, I have a computer, and all I got to do is say, hey, I got an idea for that a group of women battling the challenges. And I would type it in just like that and let the AI direct me. That's where we are now. I mean, this has nothing to do with the top. Well, it kind of has a little bit of, oh, this is a good segue. Thank you, Mark. So I can use tools that's going to help me quickly in a matter of seconds, not days, not weeks, not months, seconds. Does that not excite anybody but me? I'm just like, hey,
No. Look, I'm excited because you don't have to spend brain power. Well, you know what I mean? You don't have to agonize over it
right? I don't
anymore.
I don't have to hire a production team. I don't have to if I wanted to make this animated, I don't have to hire animators. I mean, sorry to this man or sorry to this people using the Kiki Palmer thing, but they're going to be out of a job unless they learn how to use AI to do it quickly and then say, hey, I'm an experienced animator. Hey, I'm an experienced producer. I know how to get your project off in a matter of minutes versus months and weeks and years that a movie production takes.
So, so, um,
Now,
so
wait, before you do that, not to say that the quality is there. I'm just saying getting the idea out of your head and into a
and
creative
see,
space.
in the people who are coming along now, if you can writing a prompt is almost like telling a story, almost like being able to write a story to bring something to life. So if you can do that, you
Mm-hmm.
will always have work,
Yes.
because there are a lot of people who cannot string together a sentence to create a prompt for chat,
Right.
for any generative AI, and
Right.
you have to be able to tell it what you want. If
Yes.
you cannot communicate that, it's
Yes.
going to be difficult, and you'll have to hire somebody to communicate what it is that you want to your assistant.
Yeah. You have to articulate it in the right way or order that AI can give you what, because AI is to me, it's I'm going to the drive-through or I'm walking into whatever fast food place and say, "Hey, give me a number 3." There's your number 3. So you go up to the drive-through AI, "Hey, give me, Starbucks or wherever. Hey, give me a this and a that." Okay. That's AI. "Give me a this and that." Okay. How you ask for it, and this ties into Starbucks really well. How you ask for it, because you can go to Starbucks and get, give me a this, and with all of these things versus give me a black coffee with sugar. So if you go give me a black coffee with sugar, you get black coffee with sugar. But if you go to Starbucks and ask for the frappuccino with the this and the no whip and the this and the that, you're going to get specialty drinks.
Right.
See,
That you created.
that you created. That you created. And we might get to the point where Starbucks is like, you can make whatever you want. Just and I don't think they're going to do this because they're all right now. There's a story about them backing away from the app ordering in app, or there's something about Starbucks. So many people are ordering multiple things in the app that the baristas in the store,
Mm.
the baristas can't keep up
And
because
I
they
can,
have people in the line.
right, I can see how that would be an issue, because when I try to use the app, I cannot create the drink that I want because the stuff is not
Right there,
listed
yeah.
in
On
the
the
app.
app, they like the my daughter likes the dragon fruit something something, and sometimes they don't have it at the location. And also, there's the fact that the baristas are overworked because they don't have enough to have it. Burger King have it your way yet.
Yeah. So there, that's I think that's a happy little challenge to have for Starbucks.
Yeah.
Um,
They limit what they do now in the app. They limit because people are ordering for the office or they're coming 10, 20 specialty drinks in the app, and the baristas are like, okay, we can't handle that because there's only one or two or three, not 20. So they
right.
limit it in the app, and I was like, wow, that's like you said, that's a problem to have.
It is. My thought would be where it would just be the app. Baristas, all they focus on is the app, and then everybody else focusing on the walk-in or the drive-through customers.
Yeah, so they could, I don't know how Starbucks is going. Well, this is how they're handling it. They're limiting what you can order in the app, and I'm like, well, okay, I don't like that because I'm a strictly an app person. I order it, and I'm like, I can walk the block. By the time I get there, it's ready. So I walk in and walk out like Homer Simpson, the
Yep.
grandfather, the meme with the he walks in and walk. That's how I like to do it. I'm not waiting. I'm not. Where's my drink? I ordered in the app. Where's my drink? I'm that kind of person. I
Right.
ordered in the app. When I walk in, I want it to be right there.
Right. And I tried. See, I like little tweaks to my stuff. I want breve. I want something else, and I'm trying to recreate that drink
Mm-hmm.
in the app.
Right.
Whenever, if I drive through, I can
Mm-hmm.
just say I want a da 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 da
Yes,
da
because you're
da da da.
talking to the person. But see, I like the app. I wish I could shop everywhere with an app. I'm sorry. That's just I'm not an in-person go in the store kind of person. I don't like it because there's people.
There's
I
lines.
sound like, but I'm just like there's people standing in line and they're daydreaming, think, I okay, yeah. And then they get to the line, they order, and then they go, oh, fumbling for wallets and I know why I'm there. I know I have to pay. I use the watch sometimes, or I use the phone, or I have the card, or whatever it is.
Dr. Tachi said in Asia, the love apps.
They love,
They
yes,
love apps.
yes,
Yeah,
they
they
love
do.
apps because it's convenient. They have street vendors that they
I just,
use the app.
but see, I just want them to get the order right in the app. Do you understand what I
That
mean?
too, get
And
that right.
because I like venti matcha lemonade with da 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 da. I can't tell them that in the app
Right.
because
So they got to get
it doesn't have options for me to say put peppermint instead of da 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 in the
right.
app.
But see, here's the thing. Another one I like is the Grubhub. I can do that in Grubhub if I want something with the Chinese place across the street. They take Grubhub, and I'm loving it because I walk in and walk out. Everybody else is standing there with cash in hand. I'm Grubhubbing it, and I do pickup. I walk over there and get. But in the app, I say put the sauce on the side or brown rice or whatever it is. I put it in the note, and they know me because I'm probably the only one around here using Grubhub. They know me. They're like, hey, I walk in and walk out with my bag. I love it
And everybody else is looking at you like, how did she get her
because
order?
on a Friday and Saturday night or what, everybody's stopping there to get some quick Chinese food, and I'm like walking in, and I'm like, give me, hey, I get it's ready when I get there. Is what I'm saying. That's what I love.
Yeah. Dr. Tashi says, but that's a very simple fix. They just need to have a comment section so
Yes,
you can be specific. Okay, I
yes,
like that because I was
yes.
like,
Because that's what I'm saying about the Grub. That's what you can do with Grubhub. With each item, you can, specify whatever. And if you want extra something or extra, they say it will be an additional charge if it's something you're adding. But I'm telling them put the sauce on the side or white rice brown, things that they're not charging for. But I need to tell them I don't want white, I want brown. Or I
right.
mean,
And I like that idea. And maybe that could be the answer
yeah, I wonder why
for
they
this
don't have
for
that.
the app. Because the app, I'm seriously, I was like, I'd like a decaf latte breve with something, something, the 2 pumps of
Okay, see,
peppermint.
and
And
when I'm ordering from them, I just pick whatever, and I'm just like, I want it to be ready. I'm like, hey, I'm
yeah,
simple. I
look,
want it to be ready. I
I want it my
want it to
way
be ready.
ready, but
Right,
I can't
right. You
customize in
can't,
the
and
app.
that's a thing they got to fix, and they also have to fix the feature of it's so popular that it's overwhelming their employees. That's a good thing to have, so they need to fix that.
Right, because I can see that because somebody, okay, I need you to go out for coffee and go get the whole office
Right, they
coffee.
do the office or they're coming in, somebody's coming in the morning, the drive-through or whatever. They don't want to wait in the drive-through. I'm late. Let me do the app and I got to get 5 drinks or 10 or whatever. Now Starbucks is saying no, you can't. You're gonna whatever the limit is, probably 2 or 3. I'm not sure what the limit is. But
I hope they make the right choice with that because you don't want to alienate your customers
right,
who
that's
are
what I'm saying.
wanting to pay you
Right.
through
That's what
the
I'm
app.
saying. I like that. So don't figure out a way to have a standalone kiosk, something where the people that app order. And there's a barista that is just for app, like you said.
Apps. Yeah,
The app
yeah.
orders go over here, this one over here. So
Now, I know they won't let you pick up your app order through the drive-through either.
right, okay. See, I don't have that. I just walk in and it's like right there, like
Yeah,
they have a little thing, and all right, I get it, and I'm leaving. I'm happy.
Mark says Starbucks was listening, and now they will allow those special orders for an additional $2.50.
Well, hey, I listen. It's a business. You want something, they are going to charge extra. Like I said about the Grubhub, we want extra shrimp. And whatever you're ordering, they say, oh, there's an extra charge. And if I want the extra 2 shrimp, which is probably $2 a shrimp, I will, yeah, give me the extra, charge me. It's all going on the card. So okay, but we're getting away from, I'm looking at the time, I'm like, we're not even talking about like the topic of the day, which is supposed to be create with a purpose. But this kind of ties in. And I'm saying create content with a purpose because last week we talked about the branding aspect. That we had a whole long conversation. I was listening to it this morning to refresh my memory because I'm saying things. It goes in and out. So I'm glad we're recording because it goes in and out. And then I can take it and take the transcript and do what I need to do with it in a
Mm-hmm.
content sense. But because I was saying that branding is going to be was one of the trends, even though they're not listing it as a trend. I see it as that because of the aspect of you got to stand out, you got to be seen, the marketplace attention. How do you get your content through all of the stuff that's happening? Overwhelm and discoverability and all those things, but they all start with branding and the purpose. And that was what we talked about last week, was about knowing your purpose, serving a purpose, because that's where everything drives from. So now we're at the part where I had some notes that I didn't get to last time about creating with purpose, creating content with purpose, purposeful content. And I had a title, Why Every Piece of Content Should Serve a Purpose, which was the tie in from last week of the serving a purpose. And I'm just going to read some of my notes. So I said by 2020, not by 2025, the majority of online businesses will require a strong, consistent, and reliable brand to inspire trust. Why do you want to inspire trust? That's how you get people to buy, know, like, trust. They're not just going to, well, hey, I'm here on social media, here's a little piece of content, here's a little quote or something I'm throwing out, and this is the bait that I want to get you to buy from me. And that's not how it works. So there's a lot of frustration in the process. So you got to refine your process. So it's like you got to have a purpose, you got to know who you're talking to, you have to have your messaging be correct. You got to talk to the right people. You got to know where they are. There's a lot of you got to know. You got to know. And AI can help with that. Also, your social media apps will help you tremendously with this. And it's called analytics. I always talk about that. And nobody ever looks at the analytics. Look at it. Look at it. I was looking at threads. I was looking at the analytics of all my posts. I was like, wow, there's some good information in there, because it's going to tell you, okay, what's working and what's not working, so that you don't have to spend a lot of time on the things that didn't work. See, you're throwing stuff out, text posts, video, uh reels, whatever, put it out there, go to analytics and see what works. All right. So all of this is to lead up to content that serves a purpose. Because you want to always hit with the right audience, but you got to have the strategy, and you got to start with the branding and the messaging and the serving a purpose, which is what we talked about last time. And knowing the purpose sustains you through the whole customer journey, and you get to know, what happens, what's going to happen if I do this and that in my strategy. Well, the purpose is going to sustain you when you see something that's not working the way you thought it would. And a lot of people do this. Nothing wrong with it, that you make content where you slaved over, a blog post, and you took 5 days or 3 days, or you've made this video and the production and this, which is good, but you spent too much time making it to where when it's posted, it doesn't do the things that you need to do. Like, maybe it does crickets, maybe you get a few bites, and you're like, I spent all of this time making this quality piece of content, but nothing happened, to where you see other people just picking up their phone, hey, la 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 la, and they're getting millions of hits. They're getting sales, they're getting this and that.
It's because that's the overthink. When you overthink, you don't do well. You jump out. You're calculating every move. I remember. I think I was watching Monk, and he was reading a book on how to swim. Dude, you got to get in the water. You're not going to be able to read the book and learn how to swim. You got to get in the water and swim.
Right.
Not
Right.
overthink it. Not overly. What is the word? Overly edit. Over. You know what I mean? Okay, this has to be perfect. The light. Okay, lights, camera, perfect. And
there's a time and place for that, but there's also a time and place for quick content.
Mark said, "That's my story. I'm over here with the crickets."
But see, what I'm saying is with that purpose of it, and I think I might have mentioned it last week, is to tweak what you're doing because it's not. And this is where you hear people say A/B test and and all this thing. Sometimes you may have to throw everything out and see what sticks to the wall. I hate that saying, but it kind of fits. You kind of throw everything out there to see what hits, what sticks. Look at the analytics. Look at the KPIs, key performance indicators that are for you. Like, what is the thing that you want? You want more followers. You want more sales. You want people to sign up for your lead. Whatever that thing is. And if you do a lot of things to get there, see, this is another part of it is we always think, well, okay, this looks great. They're going to love it. Did you ask them what kind of content do you like? Or you put out different types of content and look at the analytics. So you either ask them or look at the analytics, but there'll be an answer to, well, my audience likes text posts. That would be Threads or
Mm-hmm.
another place that's text, not X, text based. Well, my audience likes the little shorts that I put on YouTube or Reel. Well, then that's your key. I need to make short form content quick, quick, quick. I don't need to pull out, the this and the that and the props and the this. Maybe I just need to go outside and take a walk my dog, or go outside and, hey, I'm outside and da 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 da. And this came to me. See, you don't know what hits until you do it, is what I'm saying. And a lot
Yeah.
of people think, well, I know what they want. If you know what they want, you give it to them and it works, good. If you think you know what they want and it's not hitting, there's the break. There's the issue. See? Because it doesn't have, and this gets back to, I think I said last week about the dancing on TikTok, that you didn't have to be a dancing monkey. And I said that from the beginning. Oh, look, the pointing. Is anybody point? I don't see any videos where people are pointing now. Remember they used to point at the screen and this and that, and it got annoying. I knew it would get annoying. Dancing is still happening, but they figured out their audience likes dancing. If your audience doesn't like dancing, don't do it. There's some people I follow. A guy on, he does Facebook ads. He talks about Facebook and I think Google, but mostly Facebook ad management. How to set up an ad correctly, how to get the most out of an ad, the technical parts of it. And all he does, he started a YouTube, not YouTube. He started TikTok maybe a year ago, and he talked about when he started the TikTok, he didn't get any views, and it was just him like a fake like this talking about Facebook ads and how to get, because people want to know, how do I get ads to work for me on Facebook? So he knows the minutia of that. He has a website, he has a newsletter, he has courses and all of that. And he talked about on Threads, he talked about how he was so glad he started with the TikTok, even though he wasn't sure, because he wasn't dancing and pointing and doing, all the fun stuff. He was just talking, but people connected with who he was because he's explaining, oh, well, this is what you do when the ad set is not working. This is what did you know that he does that. So his YouTube, not YouTube, I hope he's on YouTube, I didn't check. But his TikTok, he talked about his TikTok growth after a year, and he said it was phenomenal because he kept doing it. He didn't get swayed by, well, I need to dance, I need to point, I need to have a prop, I need to have an elephant behind me. Whatever crazy stuff, trendy stuff, whatever's going on. It was just him like this, headshot from here, looking at the camera. Hey, did you know that da 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 da? Or are you having problem with blah 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 in Facebook ad? Let me show you that. And making it quick and biteful, bite size, and to the point. But having a link in bio, going to his website or whatever funnel or lead magnet or thing that he had that people wanted. But see, the TikTok is the bite, the appetizer, the thing that gets the attention. And he didn't feel like, well, I gotta, put on roller skates or surfboard to say, hey, Facebook ad. He didn't do any of that. It was just this talking. So see, that worked for him, but he had to do it. He had to get out of his mind of, okay, I can't go on TikTok because it's all kids dancing, or it's all teenagers or Gen Z doing what was it doing? The crazy, some kind of crate challenge where they were standing on crates and falling and breaking their arms and that crazy stuff. See, that's not necessary as long as you're doing what I'm talking about, purposeful content that has a purpose. But you got to stay on the straight and narrow of, I need to do what I'm doing in my lane. I can't do I'm on a tightrope, strung, up high on 100 and what. I'm not doing crazy death defying things in order to get attention, because your audience doesn't want or need that. His audience is business people, business owners, small business owners who want better results from when they run Facebook ads. See, he knows that. See, but you have to go on the journey of, let me put myself out there. Let me try this and see if it works. But it takes a while. It's not going to be, oh, I got 0 today and tomorrow I'm going to have 100,000 people. That's not how it's going to work. So again, we're human. We want an instant reaction. We want instant results. We give up. And I'm not saying that that's wrong either. I'm just saying keep going for the long haul if you know your purpose and you enjoy what you're doing. So, Mark has a comment. Let me bring it up. Mark says, I'm definitely staying in my lane, but no one else is on the highway. Well, the highway, where's the highway in the desert? Just give me a highway in Arizona and Nevada where there's nothing but tumbleweed and cactus. Is it Route 66? No, not
Route 66 is one of them highways that goes through.
Because I'm thinking of the movie Cars. And the car, what's his name? Steve something, the red car. They're going to a tournament or whatever. And he's going through, there's nothing but desert. There's nothing but nothing. But he's got a destination to go to. That's what I have in my mind. See? But this is not for, I don't want to say that. Let me not say that. It's just that this road can be long and you don't see anything when you're on it. There's no rest stop. There's no, I don't know why I'm thinking about the south of the border, because when I was a kid, that's what the south of the border billboards that said, oh, the south of the border is 100 miles. And then it was something interesting because as a kid, there was nothing to look at. It was no social media for me, coloring books or whatever it was. And so, a kid is curious. But otherwise, the adults are fine because they're like, well, we got a destination. I don't need to see this, or I don't need to have a circus when I'm in the car. I'm rambling, I know, but it's I'm trying to get you to see that it's going to be a road where there is just going to be tumbleweeds and desert. See? And what do? When you're in the moving. Car. Right, because where are you going? Your GPS, you put in your GPS where you're going.
Right.
What happens on the way?
And I think Mark has views on his YouTube stuff. I was like, okay.
And Mark says, for me, driving south of my family was see Rock City. See, there's something that was put up on the, and the thing they did about the south of the border, I think it was Pedro and it was to get the kids. The parents don't care. We got someplace to go. We gotta be there by a certain time. We're not. This is we're not stopping at South. But mom, but that the thing, the hey, and they look fiesta and oh
And they did it on purpose
yes, that's my point. They did it on purpose. The kids are in the back seat.
because the
Lord, I got
parents will most likely stop for the kids.
yes.
Mom, can we? There's Dairy Queen. There's such and
That
such.
what
And
yes, insert whatever because the kid is gonna rag and browbeat the parent until they're like, okay, I can't take anymore. Here.
we're gonna pull over right here.
Yes. And even not even a trip. Just think, taking a kid to the grocery store. It was just oh I gotta let me
What is it? The kids are always, mom, mom, pulling on the mom.
so this is the thing that some older people will know. Your parent will say, going in the store, don't ask for nothing, don't touch for nothing, don't look at nothing, don't that kind of thing. Don't
We're
touch
not,
anything, don't
we ain't
ask.
buying nothing.
Yeah, just zip it. Because the parent is like, I got a list of things to buy. I'm not there, but there's little things for the kids to get. And when you're waiting in line, and this has happened to me, like my daughter was little, there's the little, we're waiting in line somewhere, and the little cars and oh my God. And then the line is long. So I'm like, oh my God, if these people don't hurry up, because I'm already mad because I don't want to wait in the line, but I need these things. And my daughter is like, and there's nothing you could do because the kid is one track minded of I want that shiny toy thing.
Yes.
And they do it on purpose. Because otherwise, I'm not buying that little car thing, that little thing that the kid wants. I'm not buying it. That's not what I came in for. But they
All
put
that
it there on
stuff
purpose.
is all at the checkout
All
line
that the
at kid
all the
level.
candy,
At
gum,
kid level.
all of the stuff. And we ignore it, but the kids see it's a glowing, shiny thing. Ooh. And it says buy me on it. And only the kids sees the buy me. But just think about and I was saying all that to say that sometimes the road that we're traveling on with content, growth online and business is that we're seeing tumbleweeds. We're not seeing anything. You're going through the desert or the plains or Kansas or wherever, and it's just flat. There's no trees, there's no nothing but farm. And what do?
Keep
You keep
driving.
going because you have a destination where there are things. There's no flat land. There's no desert. There's no tumbleweeds. There's no cactus. There's no. But we got to keep going through that. So that's why I'm bringing on up. I'm sorry. When I'm
No,
talking, the things come to me like the south of the border. I'm like, okay,
yeah, and if you stop, then the message doesn't get out. You still have to put it out. And I think I heard you say the purpose of you putting the message out. What is it something that your audience needs to hear? Okay, uh, put it out there anyway. Are we, it may not go viral, but somebody may hear it that needed it.
right? Because you what we're doing, we're not creating content. I hear a lot of people, oh, just make content, or the content is king, or all these little stupid things. It's not about. And here's the one I really want to bust. Oh, just create valuable content, and then people stop talking. It's not about valuable content. It's about purposeful. What is the purpose? Does this meet the needs of your target audience? If it doesn't, they don't care. I don't care how you dress it up or, like I said, the circus, the this, the, oh, look, da, 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 da. It's not something I want. It's not something I need. I got a lot of things going on in the world today. There's a lot of other things going on to worry about. I really don't care about anything that doesn't serve my need, my pain point right at this moment. That's how it works.
Yeah. So it's back to give the people what they want.
Right. It's the thing, like I said, you're in the store, you're there for a purpose. You got your kids with you, and you're like, I got things on my list. I don't see anything else. But the kid sees all these little shiny things that say buy me. It's glowing to them. And it says, buy me. Ask your mom. And this is the reason why they had the commercials during Saturday morning cartoons of this cereal, that cereal, because you would pester mom, 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 mom when you went in the store and you saw the box.
Mm-hmm.
But mom is like, I got a list. Vegetables is on my list.
We are
Fruity
not buying
Pebbles is
that.
not. Count Chocolate is not.
It's not on
So
the list.
right. So this is a part of it. That it's not about valuable content. That is a part of it, but it's purposeful. Does it serve a purpose? Does it meet a need? So I have just let me, because I'm getting away from my note. I have all these wonderful notes. Let me read them. Um, So a little bit about the purpose, that it gives you an edge. It keeps you going when times get tough. They will get tough. Um, my assistant wrote that purpose becomes your North Star. And the key is because your audience, it's not a one-way road here. Your audience is sitting there. They have feelings and they can connect and they can see what you're about. Okay. So here we get with the valuable and the purpose and everything. Um so it's I have in my notes here. They don't just want your product or service, they want to know how you make their lives better, easier, or more meaningful. That means, what does it do for them? Not that you're selling your product, your service, because that's what you want to do as a business owner. But does it connect, and do they find purpose in it? Is it meaningful to them?
Right. Dr. Chauncey's comment from what we were talking about, the kids Saturday morning. She says Saturday morning cartoons single-handedly delivered year-end earnings results for General Mills, Kellogg's, and all the cereal
Oh,
companies.
they love the cartoons. That was the whole purpose. Same thing with soap operas. Soap operas were developed to sell soap. That's why they were called soap operas. They were developed to sell soap. P&G made all their, they sponsored all of these. Well, I don't know. Is any left? I think one or two are left. But they started out in the 50s when TV was new. Oh, how do
They
we
trying
sell
to
the soap?
they trying to bring one back, and I don't know why.
Oh yes, there's a new one coming out. I think CBS has one with an all black
Yeah,
cast or all black
yeah, and
family
I was like,
thing.
"What are you doing beyond the gates?" I was like,
Well, listen, if it hits, it's a good idea. If it doesn't, then
and because it never said what time it was coming on, or
oh yeah, when does it come on?
right. So I
Is
was
it
like,
CBS or is it Paramount Plus? Because they
I
might be trying to push that. So I don't,
well,
I
they
don't know.
they
Dr.
said,
Tachi knows. That's
yeah,
media. She knows.
yeah. So that means you need to stick around for Media Scope, or you need to check in on Friday to find
Yeah,
out, what's happening with that. Because as the other soap operas are disappearing, they're pushing a new one.
exactly. All right, so let me read a little bit more and give you just a couple of points, and then we'll end this. So purpose shapes your branding, your identity. It's not just a logo, a tagline, or your company story. It's a deeper connection you're creating with your audience. What are you telling the world you stand for? What experience can people expect every time they interact with you online? A lot of this is messaging. That's what I'm saying. Messaging meaning, let me try something new. Let me try something different. If your purpose isn't showing up loud and clear in your message, you're missing a huge opportunity. People are bombarded with noise daily. They tired of the empty pitches. When your messaging has meaning, you cut through the noise and grab their attention. Now, how do you lead with purpose? Here's the list. Clarify your mission. That means what I said last week was knowing your service. What is your purpose? And you don't have to make it a mission statement. Just know a one or two line. Well, why am I doing this? Is for XYZ. Um, Ask yourself what the real reason you're in business. So this goes back to the clarifying your mission. Create messaging around that mission, that purpose. Once you have it defined, again, it doesn't have to be a business plan or a mission. It could be a one line. Why am I doing this? Serve, and then serve, don't sell. You're
Mm.
not pushing products, you're offering solutions, solutions, answers to problems. And so that's why you want to do that, because running a business is a marathon, not a sprint. We say that here. There will be setbacks, missed targets, moments of doubt. Purpose gives you resilience. It reminds you why you're doing all of this in the first place, and it helps you push through when others might quit. That's really it in a nutshell. Why you're making purpose content with a purpose, purposeful content. People say valuable content, and then people go, well, what's valuable? I say purposeful. What is the purpose of each piece of content that you put out? And I always say you don't have to overthink it. That was the thing I was saying about the TikTok, and oh, I gotta have a set and a production like I'm CBS or something like this. Dr. Tachi, oh, she has a Beyond the Gates.
Yeah, she said Beyond the Gates will debut on February 24th. It will be at 2 p.m. in the afternoons on CBS.
So they're not doing like you have to sign up for Paramount Plus kind of thing, because I think something's going on with Paramount Plus, if I remember correctly. Something's going on with them.
Look,
yeah, so CBS, they're trying to bring this soap opera back format, which we said it was dead or dying, because there were tons of soap operas the 50s and 60s and 70s. Now we're down to a handful. If I'm not even sure what's around. I think Young and Restless is still around. There might be one on ABC. Does NBC have any?
I don't know.
I don't know. But what they're doing is saying, hey, we're going to try this. And remember, CBS, if it's a failure, they just write it off in the taxes. It's a business loss. Yeah, they just write it off. So it's not like they want a failure. I'm just saying that's like one of the things. Well, if it fails, we can offset the this and that. They got accountants for that.
Right.
It won't be a loss. It won't be a total loss.
So
but if it hits, no, go ahead. But if it hits,
then somebody was brilliant. As of September 23rd, I'm sorry, as of September 2023, the soap operas The Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital, and The Young and the Restless are still on the air.
Okay, so I guess NBC doesn't have any.
Look,
they used to have Days of Our Lives. They used to have Days of Our Lives. They used to have a bunch. I think they got one. Well, I don't know if they still have dates. I don't know. These see again, and here, Dr. Tachi, thank you for this. Who is around at 2:00 in the afternoon to watch a soap opera? Well,
I don't know.
It was the older folks.
Are they still doing that? Or
I don't know. It was college kids. Back in the day, not now. I mean, we got social media now.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
No, I'm saying back before social media. There was college kids watched a lot of it because you don't have a 2:00 class if you're not hanging out or doing whatever. Or
but I'm not picking up. But see, the thing is, I'm not going to pick up and turn on the TV. That I'm not the TV, because the TV technically is in my hand.
Right, but no, I'm saying before all of that, your grandma watched it, so your grandma babysat you.
Right, so and so you picked up, and then you started watching.
Yes.
Dr. Tachi has a comment. She says people are watching content creators making soap opera style episodes on social media. They are not firing up the TV to watch them. Thank you.
Right, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is CBS is they're going with it. But here's the thing, they're going niche with it because this target audience, I said they have older people that have watched this, that, and the other. They might want to watch that if they're available, but we got social media to take the attention. So I'm not sure if this is going to do what they think it does, but they're trying it, is my point. Hey, let's throw it out there.
This is a production between the NAACP and CBS Studios.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I think this is just my opinion. I think they should have done it with a focus on it as a YouTube
Yes,
channel,
YouTube, Tubi, TikTok,
something.
serialized content. Where the attention is right now is social media. If
Right.
you
And I
really,
think they should, if you're going to do that, don't just leave it up to being on TV at 2 o'clock.
right,
'Cause I don't even see my local TV at 2 o'clock. Uh,
right, right.
Dr. Tachi said, well, to CBS, I say go with God. I hope it works for them.
Well, listen, it's CBS. They aren't they the old folks? I hate to say it. The elder network.
The seasoned network, the NAACP is the old school, so they're going with what they
Here you
know.
go. Here's another. Thank you, Dr. Sachi, for this point. She's right. This is old school style. New school would have been serialized, bite-sized, Risa Tisa content on short form platforms.
You know who's doing real good with that? Country Wayne.
Oh yes, yes. I didn't know about him until I saw him on Shannon Club
Yeah,
Shay
but
thing.
his little vignette things, and you can just go to the YouTube channel and catch up whenever you want to. What happened with Amber and such and such? You can just go.
Do you know how much money he's making doing that? It starts with an M.
And it's vertical video. It is seriously. He
He's
shot it.
making millions.
What is it? He shoots with a iPhone or something, and he just shoots it at like this and ends the scene
Now,
like it's
yes, yes. So
disappearing. I was
now
like,
let's talk about that. Could be, and this is one of the. Oh, real quick, because I don't want this to go too long. But there is the other side of it that is not quality content. This is what I'm saying. He has an audience.
them people do not care,
They don't care.
and it literally
It's not.
it's
It's
like
not
this.
Oscars. It's not Oscar worthy stuff. They
And
don't
there
want it to
is
be. They don't
it,
care.
it is his phone. Somebody has a phone, and they're doing like this between the people talking. This
This,
person is talking,
yes,
and this person is talking, and
yes.
but
Now,
you're engrossed in the story,
yes.
and you don't care about all of it.
And who birthed this? Reality TV birthed this.
Right.
And I'm glad you brought it up because this is something in the back of my mind that I was going to start talking more about. I call this regional content or local content.
That is, and it is hyper local
It
content.
hits a certain demographic who
Right.
lives in a certain area. It is
Yeah.
not global. It is
Mm-mm.
not nationwide. It is not
Nope.
worldwide. It is regional.
Right. And
So Country Wayne hits with his region. I'm not sure where he's from, Memphis or
Atlanta,
Atlanta.
the whole Atlanta area, because I'm like,
He knows what people in Atlanta want.
mm-hmm.
He doesn't care about me. I live in New York. He doesn't care what I want. Alexa, stop. He doesn't
And
care that I watch.
I,
It's not for him.
I, I was, and because my husband watches it sometimes on the YouTube,
Right.
right? And you hear little snippets. I was like, so what happened with so and so? I'm
But
not
see here,
even
look how they're catching you. You're the second wave.
right.
You're not the target. You're the second wave, and that's cool.
And
This,
and
this
and if
I talked to just real quick. I talked about this last time with Seinfeld. That Seinfeld was regional, but it hit nationwide because they made the comedy that way. But it was regional. It was
it
all New York
definitely
stuff.
it's hype because it gave us the look into what happens in New York. And even though we're not
Right.
in New York,
Right. See, that's a part of it. Regional, local content is hitting with a target audience. He doesn't want it would be nice to be global stage, but that's not the idea. The
because
idea is regional.
he stand with his niche. He stand with the people who get him. He is not trying to talk to everybody in the world.
Right. And there's another, I'm trying to remember how I found this, but it was on TikTok. It's this couple and the wife, I'm not sure the terminology, forgive me, but the wife makes lunch for Charles every day and records with TikTok live or how, I'm not sure. And and I'm not sure what the terminology. I'm sorry about the pronouns. They say, Charles, your lunch is ready, and smile at the camera. They've got millions of views just from doing little regional stuff on TikTok. They are a regional celebrity. Again, I'm not sure where this is. I'm thinking, I don't know why I keep saying Memphis.
It
Some
could be.
place regional like that. All I know, and I don't know how I found this out. Maybe I was on one of the other social media platforms and they shared it, and then they talk about the food, and then Charles sits down to eat it. There's some kind of local celebrity because they've shown other videos of them going out places and being at regional appearances and stuff like that. And all she says, Charles, your lunch is ready, and then they talk and I got sucked into it. I was like, what is this? Because people started talking about it, about something happening. And I was like, well, what is it? All I know is they go, Charles, your lunch is ready. And then the lunch is, whatever, shrimp and this, or salad, or whatever. And then they talk about things. I cannot remember the name of the people. If I went to TikTok, I could probably find it. All I remember is that it was a Charles your lunches, but like she would make. I don't know if it's she that the pronouns I'm
It
getting mixed up.
Well, it does say Charles, your lunch is ready. I do not have TikTok on this phone, so I am not
Wait, you
able
Google
to.
you Googled it?
No, I just want, okay, because so the TikTok, anyway, the URL still works, right? But
Okay,
you can't, in order to find it on the app, you have to go, it says the
Mi-
app is not
I
available.
got it. I went to Google. It's Mrs. Netta. They are on Facebook and YouTube. Um, Mrs. Netta is the person that makes the lunch. Charles sits down and eats it. I think they made a song.
Yeah, song by Miss Netta.
So just
Okay.
Google Charles, your lunch is ready, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's Netta and Charles. I watched a whole bunch of these videos just because it was like, I was curious. What is this about? Who are these people? Why are they popular? Why this and that? I fell down the rabbit hole of why. But see, what I'm saying is that this is regional content. Wherever they're from, I'm not sure of where they're living, but they are local celebrities in the region they're at, or they live. Um, and I'm pretty sure a lot of this is on Facebook. They probably have a Facebook page.
Oh, they got a YouTube as well.
Um,
They didn't get just stuck with TikTok.
okay, so they're everywhere. I
Hmm.
found them on TikTok. All I know is Mrs. Netta goes, Charles, your lunch is ready. It's different things every day. They have 452,000 followers on their page on Facebook alone. They're local influencers. They have done things with different businesses and different places around where they live. And I'm just saying, this is where we are. Where we are, where we are now. I was gonna say where we at, where we are now. Um, it was Netta and Charles, not Mrs. Netta and Charles. I don't know the details. It's listed as the comedian page. They have an email for media inquiries. I'm not sure about how. I just found them, and I'm not sure where they are. But I think they're Mississippi, or they might be Memphis or Mississippi, or that kind. Okay. So just look at it if you get a chance. Regional content is on the rise. Serialized content is on the rise. YouTube
Hmm.
is the star of it. TikTok, you can be on TikTok. You can be on Facebook. You can be all the different places. And because Fran brought up the Country Wayne, that is regional local content, but he's a nation. He's known nationwide as a comedian, but only in certain, because comics, they travel, to smaller places. They don't go New York, LA. They go to smaller regional areas. So they become regional stars. But that is a way to be in the creator economy and be an influencer or have a business or make money. Like I said, Country Wayne makes millions from this serialized content. And this was one of the things I was going to investigate. It was just in the back of my mind. I'm glad we brought it up because I feel like that's the thing. So you're not trying to get the whole United States or the whole world to like you or follow you. You're hitting with a regional, local audience in different ways and building upon that to be on a platform to build and create content, build the business and have, being an influencer or a business and having income that way. Because as you can see what's going on in the world now, things are happening to where people are going, wait a minute, let me see. I can get online and do XYZ because there'll be an audience. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. There's an audience for it, but you got to find your way through it. It's almost like a needle in a haystack. And then it's okay to not want to continue to do it because it is hard. It is a hard road. Again, I was saying about the road, about the tumbleweeds, and you're going through this highway in the desert and it looks endless. But if you keep going, you reach your destination. And I'll leave it there.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have thought that Charles, your lunch is ready was going to be something that just took
And I
off.
never thought that me watching that would be something I could apply to marketing because it just came to me. I was like, wait a minute. But this was one of the things that was an idea in the back of my mind about the regional, being the regional content, because I saw the Country Wayne. I put it, I read it. I was interested. I watched the video. I put it to the side. Then I saw the Charles and Netta, and I saw that and put it to the side. So I think that's a thing that's coming up, because if you can have some kind of attention influence on a regional level, that is also part of the creator economy.
The hyper local, because you're probably going to reach your local people more than
yes, and
global.
It's going to be more of a connection because you live there, they live there. You can say regional things that apply to where you live that doesn't apply everywhere. Just one more thing before we end. This gets into Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance, where there's a lot of talk about they don't get it. It was boring. It was that. He's a rapper from a certain area, has followers, created content, a song that blew up, that everybody knows about, but he's still the guy he was before he made the song. So when he came to the Super Bowl, he was going to be the guy when he did the song All Right, or if he did Humble, whatever, all his previous albums, he's still that guy. You're just coming in and seeing, well, what is the hype about? What is this about? So he's going to give you a performance that fits who he is, in the sense of, here's something I want you to chew on and think about that's not entertainment, but I'm presenting it to you as entertainment. So that kind of went over a lot of people's heads, and that's okay.
Yeah, because not everybody got everybody. The Super Bowl cannot get everybody. That's why they do Madonna, then they do Janet Jackson, then they do somebody else. It's like,
but we don't have entertainers like that. Michael Jackson, Madonna, Beyonce. There's so many times Beyonce can do something. So they're going to go with people like Kendrick Lamar, who has a following, who's done something in the past year, marketplace of attention.
Right.
It's going to be, and it's going to be people going, well, what is this? I don't know. Let's have
But he brought buzz. That's why there was a buzz around him, and they said, let's get this dude in because of the buzz surrounding him right now.
Yes, but he has a following. He has something to say. He says it in a particular way. If you've listened to his music before, you know his style. He was not going to switch that up because it's the Super Bowl. No, he's going to be himself, elevated a little bit, and he did elevate the message a little bit. He did do some wink, wink, tongue in cheek kind of stuff. But if you're a fan or you know about what's happened in the last year, you got it. The people that didn't know who he was didn't got it, and that's okay. That's okay. Again, regional, local, smaller focus, especially when it comes to things like the Super Bowl. So
Good.
next year they can have Carrie Underwood or whoever. That's good. But this year we had Kendrick Lamar, and he gave you a message. From Sam Jackson coming out dressed up like Uncle Sam, I knew what time it was instantly. I was like, this is a message. It's a message. So, like what's the movie? The Boys in the Hood? No, not Boys in the Hood. And no, it's I can't remember. Keenan Ivory Wayans as the mailman saying message. That's what it was. So. And that's I know we're gonna talk about it on Friday, the Super Bowl. So
yes,
I'll leave it there.
So you can learn more like this by connecting with TJ. Just go to terryjohnsononline.com/info. Connect with her everywhere online. Terry Johnson Online, and you will find her. And keep in contact. We always have really good information and things to help you change perspective about your marketing if that's necessary, or to encourage you to keep going.
Yeah,
it's working. I don't think there's any magic pill for anything. You do have to do the work.
No,
Create
there's no
with
magic
purpose.
beans. I wish we'd have magic beans for Jack and the Beanstalk, but we don't have that.
Mm-mm.
We don't have it. Sorry.
But you can create with purpose.
Yes.
What's the purpose of your content? And I was like, oh, if you wanted
about farm, I talked about farming a lot real quick, and that's the analogy. You buy a piece of land. Oh, I'm gonna do a farm. Well, there's your land. Now what? You know what to do.
Get in there, dig, water, pull weeds.
All work.
It's work, but it's purposeful work.
Yes, purposeful. And see, that's the key. Knowing your purpose, having a purpose. If you don't know why you're online, that's your key. Go back and find out your purpose. It's there.
Right.
And it can't be just I want to make money, because people are there. They're not going to open their wallets just because you're there.
No, you need to tell me something about yourself.
A whole bunch before they open their wallets. There's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to happen. So that's why we talk about it here.
Yes. And we will be talking more about it next Tuesday. TJ will bring us another installment of this great conversation. So make sure that you mark your calendar, get back here next Tuesday, same time. And then on Friday, she will give us the latest and greatest in social media news. So many things happen between Friday to Friday. So much. And the other tech divas will be in the house too, talking tech. So make sure that you tune in, get in. And if you're not a part of the Bizchicks community, we invite you to do that as well. Just text Biz to 33777 or go to bizchicks.net, get on our Substack so that we can send you information. We hate spam, so we're not going to spam you, but we will send you relevant information to help keep you informed, remind you about things that are going on, so we can help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. So we will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. Mark, Dr. Tachi, everybody watching live and on the replay, thank you so much. Hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.